Alright, Tyler, I'm going to send you this, give you something to work on till next time you come over the house. We do got some more things we need to work forward on, getting your swing right. Okay, what this drill here is called the Caveman drill, and what it's going to help you with is hitting the ball with your hips, not your arms, letting your hips initiate the turn and pull your arms through the zone, okay? This also helps you get your front arm above your back arm, because that's how we want to swing, not the arms parallel stretching out. We want your left arm higher than your right arm, and that's how we want to attack the ball, and that's what this is going to help you do. Okay, this is obviously not how Colby stands. I just told him to mimic your swing best we could. We know you got your elbows down. Okay. Now, you see how he pulled his arm up from here to here? That's what I'm wanting you to do. Alright. Now the next thing we do, I went the wrong way. So he goes from down to up. That's when you're going forward, okay? Now, what you're going to do from here is you're just going to rotate your arms like so. Get this, Tyler. He's keeping that frame together from there to there. Right arm, back arm is going down to his hip. Front arm's coming up. The front arm here is higher than this arm. Now that's the exact same angle he had on his arms there. All he did was rotate them that way. Now look where the bat head is. The bat head is below. The bat head is below the hands. That's how you get down in the zone. Okay, you don't extend out. The bat head's going to be below. Okay, you're in this drill. You got the tee set up in front of you. You want to set the tee up kind of high, okay? Now from here, what you're going to do is this is it. You're going to step. Now it's a short step. Everything's probably going to be a little shorter. This is hard to do stretched out on a big step just because it's so weird. Now you can see he doesn't lay the bat behind him, but he is so used to, on his normal swing, taking this shoulder and in as this shoulder was backing up. That's his torque. That's part of it. We're going to get there with you. And I went the wrong way again. He's going to step out. Now watch this. He lands open foot. He's got his eye down on the ball. And you look. He's keeping that left arm high. He's keeping that frame. Look at him turn. Boom. He hits the ball without extension. That's the Caveman drill. Step. And you're turning and you're hitting the ball with your hips. Now what's that look like right there to you? That looks like step 2, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute, okay? That is the Caveman drill. The reason we call it Caveman, or I call it Caveman, I coined that term, and it has to do with simplifying the swing. The swing's got a lot of moving parts. We're taking a lot of those moving parts out here just so we can get to teaching our body to hit the ball with the hip opening up, pulling the hands through, instead of the hands making the body rotate. Okay, buddy? I go forward quite a bit more. I'll get a little bit better at this video as we go along. Now, here's a good example of the steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've gone through it. You still got a few little bad habits in it, but that's because this is so totally different than anything you've ever done. Don't take anything I say that you're doing wrong as a negative. Don't take it in a bad light. Just take it as, here's something we're going to fix. Okay. Here Colby is ready. That's how he stands when he's waiting on the pitch. Look at his back leg. Remember, I've told you, we don't want to dip back too far, and I showed you on the last video, y'all both do, that's fine. but look where his knee is. His knee is inside of that ankle. I've explained that to you before. That's how we actually get our body to go forward. Okay, now he's going into one. Remember one, we go forward and we load our hands. Now he's already got his elbow up here because he starts with his hands above his head. But as he goes forward, watch this. Boom, that's one. Dropped his hands back a little bit further than usual, but look how the shoulders line up. Back shoulders higher than the front. This arm is not straight. This arm's still got a good bend, and his elbow's up. What you are doing is you're leaving your elbow laid out here, and you're stretching your hands back probably farther than this. But we want to get that back elbow up. That's step one. Open foot. And have his foot bent, or leg bent, quite as much as I got you doing it. That's where he's comfortable at. We've had him way out here before, but going through the drills, it's kind of hard to do. We got to over-exaggerate everything with you to get your body into it. He's set in one. Now look what he does on two. Here's into two. All he's doing into two is he's dropping his back elbow from here to here into his side. And he's taking his left elbow and it's actually moving upwards. Now that's the position of the caveman. Now his bat hadn't dropped all the way in yet because he hadn't made the move completely yet. Remember, caveman simplifying. We're just doing it beforehand. Now look how his back foot's already coming up off the ground. Turns into it. Boom, there's step two. I would like this bat to be a little bit more on this angle. But like I say, nobody's perfect. We're not going to get it perfect every time. But here's what you need to see. It's hard to see, but I promise you, his left shoulder is higher than his right shoulder. Now that's something you've been told your whole life along with Squish the Bug is do not drop your back shoulder. I'm going to tell you right now, what you're doing is not dropping your back shoulder to lift the ball. You're getting your back shoulder lower than the front so that you're on the proper angle to drive through the ball. What you can see is this bat head is definitely below his hands. And he does, like I say, this ain't full-on movement, but he does have some of that angle in there. The angle's harder to keep in the drills, obviously, because it's step at a time. These are just maintenance drills to help realize everything. The other thing he's got going on here, look where these hands are compared to his shoulder. You come through a lot of time and your hands are down in this area. That's just something that you're used to that we're going to have to get you out of. Remember I said this turn, you're not doing anything special other than you're taking the bat from here. You're switching those elbows and those arms positions, and you're just turning. You're not pushing hands. You're not dropping your hands. You're not doing anything. I wanted you to see this. Okay? Now you go from here into step 3. I want you to see the only thing that moves here is his arms. Okay? And look at this bat. It's coming from here up into here. Roughly along that path. That is a gentle up through the ball. Okay? That's what we want. Ball does not come in straight. It does not come in on an up. So we do not want to swing down on it. We don't want to swing level. We want to swing kind of up. Now there's a reason that this here is only arms in this step. And look how straight he's getting there. Up a little bit high. I want it more here. This is okay though. You go through your steps. 1, the whole body moves. In the actual swing, you're coming down. You're planting. You see it? You're ready to turn. Boom. You're turning on the ball through step 2. But you're leaving your hands back. The rotation of your hips and a movement of your body forward, putting a force into this turn, takes you into step 3. And step 3 in a real swing is mostly arms because you're flinging the bat out after you have the body turn. That's why this step is only arms. And from here, his step 4, we do a full turn, and he swings with one hand. Now you can see, too, look at his hands. Look at those hands right there. He's all the way there, and he has yet to roll his wrist. That's because we're swinging with big muscles, not the small muscles of the wrist. Now he's going to almost roll them there. And you're not going to roll your wrist until you get all the way through. What will happen, and it will happen to you sometimes, and will happen to every hitter, if you're here and you start rolling your wrist, this bat head's not going to travel like this. Okay? If you roll your wrist, and you can stand there and do it, and you can watch it happen. When you roll your wrist and these two switch, that bat head will come. You roll your wrist. As you're rolling, it's going to jump up. And as it flips over, it's going to come back down. Look at that hole you just put in your swing path. And then it'll follow through. But you have put this hole right here. You've put that hole in your swing path. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the hands from rolling to keep that from happening, okay? Now this is a good view of the new drill I want you to start doing. Do it for 5 or 10 minutes. Do your steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep working on that step, getting your foot on the right path and open. We'll get back to work and we'll get these things moving. As soon as we get these arms and these hips and these hands staying still, we will have step 1. Once we get that elbow up, instead of staying at your side, you've got this part of step 1 down. You got the legs, okay? We'll get that elbow up. Guess what? You got step 1 done. We get you to turn with your hips instead of your hands and leaving your hands high. Boom, we go to step 2. That's what we're working on now. We're working on the elbow and getting the turn with the hands high and a bat head below the hands. And the hands staying in the same relationship to the body as they were throughout step 1.